Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. This show's episode is called This New Technology Will Make It Harder for Car Mechanics to Rip You Off. Are you tired of going to your local car mechanic and never knowing if the repair cost is going to be $500 or $3,000? Well, there is a new inexpensive scanner on the market that will make it much harder for your local mechanic to rip you off. We're going to tell you all about it. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, follow, and comment on the show, as well as to let you know that the show is sponsored by HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a company that allows you to purchase live calls with your favorite celebrities. They have over 100 celebrities to purchase from. So give it a try. The prices vary from $19.95 to $29.95, and the calls are live. So try it. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. Have you ever noticed that over the last decade or so, it's become almost impossible to go to a car mechanic or a dealer and walk out with a repair bill under $1,000? No matter what, it's always $1,000, $1,500. And if you go to your dealership instead of a car mechanic, you can multiply that price by 2 or 3 for the exact same repairs. Why is that happening? It's happening because car dealers are having their margins squeezed very aggressively by the manufacturers and by other car dealers and also by the internet. So dealers look for new ways to improve their profit margins. And that means charging people a lot more for their car repairs. In fact, it's common knowledge that most car dealers make more money on the repairs of their cars than they do on the sale of cars. Have you ever seen your car mechanic plug a small diagnostic device into your car to see what's wrong with it? They usually plug it into a small socket just below your dash, and then they begin to read the diagnostic codes and error messages. The scanners they use to perform these scans are called OBD2s, and that stands for Onboard Diagnostic 2. The problem is that up until recently, these scanners have been relatively expensive, and if you did buy a consumer version, that could still be hundreds of dollars. And a lot of people who purchase them still have difficulty reading the error messages. All of that has just changed. There is a new and very sophisticated OBD2 on the market called the Think OBD 100. And you can buy it now for about $35. And it does the same things that scanners costing $400 do. Best of all, it's so simple to use that you can figure it out in a couple of minutes. To use it, you just plug it into your port, your data port, below your dash, and let it perform its scan. Press the diagnose button and watch it go to work. You don't have to enter a VIN number or do anything else. It just collects the data and processes it. This device can read codes, it can erase codes, it'll check the IM readiness, which will tell you if your car is capable of passing the state test. It can also check airflow, fuel flow, engine data, oxygen sensor data, and a wide range of other data. It can also tell you if you're looking to purchase a new car, or a used car, I should say, and someone's telling you there's nothing wrong with it, and you get in, you start it up, and there are no engine warning lights. Well, sometimes that's because very clever and sleazy sellers have gone in and they've shut off the warning lights. That can be done with some machines. But if you plug this device in, it can tell you if the warning lights have been shut off in an attempt to hide problems that they don't want prospective buyers to see. So the big question is, how does this device prevent mechanics from ripping you off? Without an OBD scanner of your own, if you just walk blindly into an auto repair shop when your car breaks down, you probably have to take whatever they tell you and accept it, because you have no way of independently confirming it. If they tell you your car needs $1,000 repair on a fuel injection system, how would you know otherwise? But you can protect yourself by getting your own scanner. Here's how you do it. The next time your car breaks down, here's what I'd like you to consider trying. Number one, use your OBD2 to run your own diagnostic on your car. It'll generate messages for you, And you can record these messages. Then you can go online, go to Google, and type in those error messages and see what other people did, other people who had the same mechanical problems with their cars. See how they fixed them or how they had their cars fixed, what the costs were, etc. Now you're armed with information that you can take to a local repair shop. And when you get there, here's what I want you to say. Say your car is broken and that you just ran an OBD scan on your car. Can you please have your mechanic diagnose the car to see what their scan says? Tell them to give you your best price on the job because your mechanic is out of town. And if they give you a competitive bid, you'll consider taking your business to them in the future. By doing that, you've accomplished several things. You've just let the repair shop know that you're not completely uninformed and that they won't be able to hoodwink you and get you to accept whatever they say. You've also put them in a position where your mechanic now needs to compete for your future business as a new client. So he'll want to quote you an aggressive and fair price. You're also doing something else that will save you money. A lot of mechanics, when you bring them a car that needs repairs, they'll figure out what's wrong with it. Then they will also try to upsell you with additional ancillary repairs that really aren't necessary and they're not really linked to the current mechanical problem. But they'll say, you know, while we're down there, you also need this, or you may also want to do that because it may go bad in 6 months when you're out there driving on the road somewhere. So by performing your own scan, you can determine more carefully and precisely what is and isn't wrong with your car, and then you're armed with that information when your mechanic tries to upsell you on other nonsense. If you don't have a scanner, you'll never really know. You'll be walking into these repair shops and car dealers completely blind. And by the way, don't make the mistake of thinking that car dealer repair shops are more reputable than local mechanic shops. I've seen no evidence of that. It's amazing, amazing. When you go to a car dealer repair shop now, they'll diagnose it, they'll tell you what's wrong, what the cost will be, and then you will get a 3-page computer printout of all the other things that they recommend. That's the key word. They recommend this also be done. So if you have a car that's out of warranty or that has issues from time to time, then you may want to consider getting your own inexpensive scanner as just sort of an insurance policy against massive ripoffs. One last thing. Before you select a mechanic, you should always go to Yelp and Google reviews and check their reviews to see how they've treated other customers. It is amazing how much information you'll get from customer reviews for mechanics and a lot of other businesses as well. But for mechanics, people get very, very pissed when somebody rips them off, and they'll go online and tell the public, and that'll have a dramatic impact on a local mechanic. So check out their reviews before you do business with them. Having said that, I want to thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.